call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation following. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials. Grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Allen? Here. Green? Here. Nastrovich?
Here.
Rindell?
Here.
Ricks?
Here.
Schultz?
Here.
Warren?
Here. Good to see everybody here tonight. Approval of minutes for the City Council meeting of October 4th. The motion will be in order.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to audience comments and on the non-agenda items. If anybody is here to speak to the council, we ask that you come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Look like we have anybody. Okay, we'll move on. Adoption agenda, Mr. City Manager, any changes?
No changes.
City Council, any changes? Being not, a motion to accept the agenda as presented would be in order.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We need a motion for the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support. Motion's been made and supported. There is no discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to our public hearing. Commercial Rehabilitation Exemption Certificate. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to hold a public hearing to receive public comments on the application for commercial rehabilitation exemption certificate submitted by Dick Huvar Land Incorporated for the property located in Commercial Rehabilitation District 1, also known as 67567 Main Street. The notice was put in the paper that we were holding the public hearing tonight at 7 p.m., and it was also sent to the affected taxing authorities by way of certified mail. As part of the application process, the city was required to hold 2 public hearings. The first hearing was held on September 7th, and this was on the establishment of the district, which we did later that night. The second public hearing is scheduled for tonight, and this will be on the consideration of the application itself.
Thank you. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
I make a motion to open the public hearing on the establishment of a commercial rehabilitation exemption certificate application for Dick Huvar Land Incorporated for property located at 67567 Main Street at 7:04 p.m.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. We are open. Has there been any contact since the first?
We have not had any contact.
Okay, very good. I see our friends from the county are here tonight, Mr. Ahee. Was there anything that you had?
Unless you have a question.
Did any city councilman have any questions at this point in time?
No.
No? Any audience? No? You did such a good job the first time around. Very good. Motion to close?
Make a motion to close public hearing on the Commercial Rehabilitation District at 7:05.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We are back into items for consideration. We have 4 this evening, the first one being consideration of approving Resolution 2021-21, approval of the application for a commercial rehabilitation exemption certificate for Dick Huvar Land Incorporated at 67567 Main Street. Mr. City Manager.
Council is scheduled to consider approving Resolution 2021-21, a resolution to approve the commercial rehabilitation exemption certificate application under PA 210 of 2005 as amended for property located at 67567 Main Street. The city recently received the application from Dick Huvar Land Incorporated for consideration of the commercial rehabilitation exemption certificate. We've held a public hearing both for the creation of the district in September. We created the district back then. Earlier tonight, just held the public hearing on the consideration of the application itself. And our recommendation in the motion and resolution that the administration has put together for your consideration is that we approve the application and approve it for a period of 5 years. As we've all discussed with the county before, at the end of that 5 years, the applicant does have the right to come back and extend and ask for the remainder of the 5 years. But due to the kind of current uncertainty on commercial property and where kind of the pandemic and more, probably importantly in this case, is the kind of with the technology changes and people getting used to Zoom and what that may have on commercial property, administration felt that maybe the 5 years was better, and then we can see where we're at in 5 years and have that consideration at that time. But overall, this process, as mentioned before, is a way for the city to assist one of its largest employers and taxpayers with the financing of the improvements. So by doing this, they'll eventually, for that period of 5 years, receive some form of tax break up to that 5 years, potentially for the 10 once they, if they come back in for that. But we believe it's a good way to work with one of our existing businesses.
Very good, thank you. Is there a motion before any discussion?
I'll make the motion to approve resolution 2021-21, a resolution that approves a commercial rehabilitation exemption certificate application from Dick Huvar Land under PA 210 of 2005 as amended for property located at 67567 Main Street for a period of 5 years.
Support.
Motion made and support. Any discussion?
And I would just like to add, as you mentioned, Mr. Mayor, Jim Ahi and Todd Siebert are here from Macomb County Planning and Economic Development, as well as, I believe, the Assistant General Manager from Huvar's, if you have any questions.
Does council have any questions, comments? We had a discussion the first time around, a good presentation from the county, so looks like a good thing to do for the community. Is there any audience participation on this item? Seeing not, back to the table. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. Thank you for your help. We appreciate it. Item number 2, consideration of transportation improvement program, grant application, mill and overlay of Gratiot Avenue. Mr. City Manager?
The Transportation Improvement Program, also known as the TIP, is a grant program administered through Macomb County Department of Roads. The program is bid through MDOT as a local agency project with 80% grant funds and 20% local match. The 3 roads that are eligible for the city are Ridge, Division, and Gratiot. Jim has been able to get both Division and Ridge into this program where we received grant funding, and now is looking to submit Gratiot for the same type of mill and resurface down there, where we would get 80% of the construction costs paid for by the county or the federal government and 20% paid for by the local.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to authorize the DPW Director to submit a TIP application requesting grant funding for the mill and overlay of Gratiot Avenue.
Support.
Motion been made and support. Any discussion? Okay, so this is exactly where on Gratiot?
This would be the section of Gratiot from essentially Main Street through County Line is our portion of Gratiot as.
So going north on Gratiot.
Correct, going north on
Oh.
Gratiot. The other portion of Gratiot is M19, it's a state trunk line.
Okay.
So the portion that we're responsible for and that we pay to maintain the pavement on is essentially
Really?
Main Street
Yeah.
to County Line. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I guess I didn't realize that after all these years. Are you sure?
Hold on, I'm trying to visualize
I don't
this.
remember putting any city money into that.
We have, and we did a major reconstruction project, if you recall.
2008.
It was
The
when
Muttonville.
the little extension of Muttonville Lane from Maine across.
Yeah.
We got the state to formally give that to us as long as,
Yeah. Yeah, it was in horrible condition.
Yeah.
We kind of took it over,
Right.
so that it doesn't never get that
They
bad.
said, well, it's yours as long as
Yeah.
you agree to maintain it. But essentially, that's our section of Gratiot, because Gratiot, as it comes north and hits the city limits from the south, is the state highway and continues when it turns north and goes on Main Street. So that whole movement there is state trunk line. So I'm assuming that actually our section of Gratiot starts a little bit beyond where Gratiot comes in, or Main Street comes in.
Yeah, I mean, it's right at the corner, right where the sidewalk ramps are, that's ours, heading north to where County Line connects.
So just from the bank to County Line connecting to the gas station almost.
Yeah, just past AutoZone, yep, the gas station.
Being that's ours, the Muttonville Lane, that whole messed up intersection, is that stuff we could look into trying to clean up, or is it?
Muttonville Lane from Maine to Gratiot is state highway. So they would be involved because Muttonville Lane, where it comes into Gratiot, is M19. It's the left-hand turn lane, because you can't turn left at Maine and Gratiot. Muttonville Lane, the only portion of Muttonville Lane that we own is from Gratiot to County Line. The
Little-
portion from Gratiot to Main Street is actually a state highway. So, I mean, certainly we could push for those discussions to happen.
But you'd have to get more players.
But they would be, yes, County Line would be one of the counties, and Muttonville, as it hits Gratiot, would be the state. So there'd be at least 3 players involved there. Yeah.
Good luck, huh?
Yeah.
Horrible
It
intersection.
is, that's why I was just, when they come up with, maybe we could
Yeah.
solve that problem a little bit easier, but it doesn't sound that easy.
One of the issues, while we're on that stretch right there, one of the issues I see is a problem is a lack of signage. Unless you know, because you're a local user of that stretch, there is no real Muttonville Lane sign. It gets very confusing with Speedway's driveway, and then you have the parts store driveway, and then you have that Muttonville Lane thing. There's no sign that says, Richmond, what I want to say, our
Like directional sign?
yeah, directional sign, to where it tells people, this is the cutoff. You don't have to go up to Main and Gratiot to hang a right, because it'll take you forever anyhow to do that because of the way the lights time, but this is the cutoff.
Yeah.
At least coming southbound on Gratiot to identify Muttonville Lane. It's not very well identified, and it's not lit up
Yeah,
either.
we can look into that.
Take a
what's
look
there,
at that
yeah.
while you're down there. I'd appreciate that. Any other discussion? Any comments from the back of the table? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 3 is consideration of special event request, Goodfellow paper sale by the Richmond Lions Club. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider the request received from the Richmond Lions Club to conduct their annual Goodfellow paper sale on Friday, December 3rd, and Saturday, December 4th, 2021.
Thank you. Is there a motion before discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request received from the Richmond Lions Club to conduct their Goodfellow paper sale at the intersections of Main Division and County Line Road, St. Clair Highway on Friday, December 3rd, and Saturday, December 4th, 2021. Further, the Lions Club agree not to be in Main Division intersection on Friday, December 3rd, from 2:30 PM to 3:30 PM, and further, that the Lions agree to sign a liability waiver.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? I was just looking at the calendar to make sure, but I see they will stop selling at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday when we have our tree lighting and
yeah,
parade
yeah.
and everything else, so it won't have any effect on it.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Any other discussion? Comments? Any audience comments? Back to the table? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We hope for good weather for him. Item number 4 is consideration approving Resolution 2021-22, recognition of the Richmond VFW Post's 75th anniversary. Mr. City Manager.
The City Council is scheduled to consider adopting Resolution 2021-22, a resolution recognizing the 75th anniversary of the James Coleman VFW Post 6802. The Post is celebrating its 75th anniversary this year, having been founded in April of 1946, and they are having a special luncheon at the Post on Veterans Day, at which Mayor Ricks has been invited, and should this motion be approved, he would make that presentation during their program.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2021-22, a resolution recognizing the 75th anniversary of the James Coleman VFW Post 6802.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this? Any audience comments on this? Okay, back to the table. We will see them on, I believe it's, what is it, November 11th?
11th, I
Yeah,
believe.
11th. And let's make sure we sign that. That's, as John mentioned earlier, it's in the back
Yes,
room right now,
yeah.
so that we can get that prepared for that. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. We congratulate our local VFW for their 75th anniversary. Miscellaneous matters from the city manager, sir.
I have none tonight.
Okay. Council comments, Jamie?
None, sir.
Emily?
Nothing, thank you.
John?
Nothing.
Rob?
Good.
Jim?
Nothing.
Michael?
I have nothing to add either, thank you.
I will add that council met at 5:30 for its quarterly workshop. We're working on many different things. It's an exciting time again. We've got so much on our plate. It's unbelievable. We will be adjourning this meeting and going back into our workshop setting again, and we'll be here for quite some time. I appreciate all the time that the city council puts into this, and also the administration that has to hang around for a while before we're done. So, thank you very much. Is there any other business of the city council? Being not, motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There's no discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Thanks for being with us.